Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and I am coming with another book tag, and this is the Poisonous book tag. This tag was created by Kate's Book Date. I will link her channel or her original tag video in the description box below. Told y'all I just went through looking for tags and yeah, this popped up and I like the questions. So question number one, there are only 6 questions to this tag. So question number 1, a book with poison in the story or title. For that, I picked The Poison Tree by Erin Kelly. I have had this book for a minute. I have wanted to read this book for a while, of course, because that's why I bought it. It is a thriller. I want to say maybe a psychological thriller. Somebody dies because there are branches on the cover. Yeah, it's a thriller and somebody goes to jail. I have no idea really what this book is about. I need to read it. Question number 2, pick your poison, a guilty pleasure book. What would I consider to be a guilty pleasure book? Okay, my guilty pleasure is vampires and I don't feel like getting up to go across the room to pick it up. So I'm going to say The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. The reason why I'm going to say that is because I have the second book in that series and I haven't read it yet, but I loved The Immortal Rules when I read it because it's a different take on the vampire story. I absolutely loved it. So that's going to be my answer for question 2. Number 3, a book with awesome character development. I'm gonna go easy, and it's not one book, it's 2 books because this character is in both of the books, but A Princess in Theory and A Duke by Default, and Portia from book 1 to book 2. The changes in her are amazing. Amazing. If you haven't read anything by Alyssa Cole, get your life. Number 4, favorite coming of age story. I don't read a lot of coming of age stories, but I don't believe that you can just come of age as a teenager. I'm actually going to pick 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith because I think this book is great to see it as a coming of age story because it has to do with the upper echelon of African American influential people in this town or city that the main character lives in, and that's been his goal to get into that upper echelon, that club of people for a long time, and then actually getting into that and learning that everything that you wish for ain't necessarily for you, and figuring out how the hell to get yourself out of a situation you didn't realize that you didn't need to be in. That, I think, still constitutes as coming of age because you're learning yourself as you get into this upper crust financially. You get some notoriety behind your name and, you know, all of that. I don't read a lot of coming of age stories unless you want to say like the YA series and stuff that I read, like Harry Potter or the Novice trilogy, those things. But I will go with this. Question number 5, a book where a virus or illness is a massive part of the story. And for that, I picked up Bloodlines by, or excuse me, Blood Child by Octavia Butler. This is a compilation of short stories, particularly speech sounds. If you are not, this, for me, speech sounds was the most touching story to me. It was the one I liked the most. It was the one that spoke to me the most. But there's this virus that has come through the states and everyone loses the ability to talk. And either it happens, some people it happened right away, some people they lost the ability over time. And it's a short story that explains how chaos, it shows how chaos is still happening because people can't understand each other, because people can't talk, and the fear that comes along with being someone who may be the odd person out during this time, during that story. So yeah, I searched forever for this one. Number 6, a book with a kick-ass character, and this is grammatically incorrect, so I'm not repeating it like this, but a book with a kick-ass character who doesn't need a love interest. One of my favorite characters by Octavia Butler, who is Lauren Olamina, in Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents. And if you have read this book, you know that there's a part that does not fall under this question. However, I'm sorry, spoiler, she does end up having a love interest, but it is not because she needs a love interest. It's because she wants a companion, and that makes all the difference in the world as far as how they view the relationship and how they view their being, their need for each other, or whether or not they have a need for each other. And really, like, the idea of being with, you being with me is a privilege. Lauren is such a kick-ass character in how she's on her journey for so long by herself, and the risks that she takes with the abilities that she has, and how easily that could go wrong for her on the journey that she is on. And yeah, when she takes in a love interest, it's really not because she needs a love interest. It's because she just wants one, and it makes practical sense. So why not? And so yeah, that is it for the tag. Again, I'm not going to tag anybody in this. If you would like to do the tag, consider yourself tagged. Go ahead and get it done. I will try to remember to put the questions in the description box below, but I will definitely put the link to the original tag video in the description box below, which has the questions on it, because that's what I'm using to look at the questions as I'm doing this video. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.